Hello, my name is Tabby, and welcome back to SpongeBob PowerWash Simulator. Oh yes, and today we have the Paddy Wagon. We finally made it. Yes, look at this. Disgusting. Gross. Ugh. So I thought today we could talk about something that's kind of been big in the news, which is what Billie Eilish said about not being able to say that you love animals and eat meat at the same time. These two things can't coincide or coexist, I think she said. And I'm saying she, her. I believe those are the pronouns that Billie's going with. If they aren't, I apologize. That's not intentional. But yeah, I thought I could just give a little bit of my opinions, and they are my opinions. They're my own, and they're just, I'm not a pro. I'm just gonna be noodling. I don't have a TED Talk planned, but oh, and hold on, we have a very important announcement from Sandy Cheeks. Holy mackerel! SpongeBob said things were messy, but this here's muckier than a mud moose in a marsh. I love Sandy Cheeks. Sandy Cheeks sounds uncomfortable, though. Anyhow, don't mind me. I'm just going to quietly go about my detecting business. We haven't heard from Sandy Cheeks. I'm so excited. I love her. Squirrel underwater. Dedicated. We're looking for the 3 M's. Means, motive, and opportunity. Ha! Love her. Love her. Yes, oh, look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this. Perfect pickle wheel. Wow. Look at the crinkle cut on that one. But first, the crime scene itself. Okay. Love that. Okay, everyone. To go! Okay, we're focusing. We're focusing. Yes, okay. So first of all, I thought the statement that she made, and I think she was kind of like doing a hill that you're gonna die on scenario, like what is your controversial opinion, and everyone's entitled to their opinions, okay? And that's what she said. Oh god, Sandy, looks like some kind of spontaneous dirtification. Oh, this might be a quick one because the paddy wagon's so small. What else you got, Sandy? I know you got something else. None of its surroundings are affected, just the wagon itself. Exactly like at Conch Street, the Krusty Krab, and the Chum Bucket. I hope you all appreciate my southern Sandy Cheeks accent. But yeah, so Billie was just sharing her controversial opinion, and I think the overall mission behind saying the statement that she said, which I've already butchered, I didn't get it right, but the sentiment I think is still the same, is that the mission of getting people to talk about it has happened. People are talking about it, and I think it's a brilliant move for a celebrity sometimes to do that, because do you know how many chickens there are in the world? Take a guess. And I'll tell you right now, there are about, what was it, like 8 billion people? Sandy Cheeks, it's almost like they've been repeatedly pecked at by some mysterious and hostile beast of the deep. Mysterious and hostile beast. Whatever did this has one almighty mouth on its hands, or should I say its face. What? What else you got, Sandy? Or faces. Indeed. Sandy's gonna be interrupting me more than I care for, but that's okay. What the crap was I just saying? Oh yeah, how many chickens, just chickens, do you think there are in the world right now? It's 3 times, at least 3 times the amount of humans. Sandy, could it be the plankton army? Oh, that's a frightening thought. Oh god, oh god, did we miss the stool? Oh, we jumped too high. Oh my gosh, do we need the stool? Do we really? But Plankton's only interested in the secret Krabby Patty formula. Yes. Open hood. Oh yeah, oh, this is very satisfying. Oh yeah, knocking it out. Is there anyone or anything who would have a vendetta against so many people? Who? Who indeed? And who could pull off such a stunt without anyone noticing? I don't know, Sandy. I don't know. Are we the dirt that we want to see in the world? Okay, where the crap was I? Yeah, so there are a lot of chickens, and that number fluctuates from like 3 times the amount of people in the world to like 7 times the amount of people in the world, because every 30 to 45 days, the chickens that are designated for meat are killed. That's their whole life cycle. So that number changes drastically, constantly. And they're like, all of these animals are kind of like invisible citizens in today's society. Oh, here we go. There's only one I know who has the viciousness, the speed, the guile, and the diameter to do such a thing. Who is it? Diameter. It was a big... It's got to be... Is it a whale? Oh, who is it? The suspense, the drama. Oh, come on, Sandy. Tell me. I'm dying. Oh. Did Sandy got by whatever it is? One minute, I just need to recharge my device. Of course. That's silly. Wow. Oh yeah, let's pop the hood. Oh. Nice. But yeah, so, and that's just chickens. That's just chickens. That's not counting the cows, the pigs, geese, you know, ducks. Like, so many different animals in our society today. And it's not just their meat, you know, it's their byproducts. It's not just the milk, it's their whole bodies that are used and that are around us in all kinds of products. And I think that that's really important to talk about and to be aware of, you know. I guess before I keep going, I should say some of my background. Are we fully? We are fully down. Okay. Okay, so where to start? I was raised, this isn't going to be very long. It's not going to be like a novel. I mean, this episode might be long, but like, I'm not going to go back all the way, I promise. But yeah, so I was raised by 2 people who were scientists, who became scientists, but before that, my dad worked as a manager at a steakhouse in Texas. That's where a lot of my childhood was in Texas. Very meat-heavy state. My grandparents were, on one side anyways, they were cattle farmers or cattle ranchers. On Take Your Kid to Work Day, I went to labs where there was animal research. The 90s were built different, you know? Like, and yeah, it was for cancer research. Some of the labs, other labs used Drosophila, so little fruit flies, for a lot of things like genetic research and all kinds of little messenger kind of RNA stuff and little things that I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. But all that to say, animals have been a big part of my life growing up, and I was, as a child, fed meat often, and that was normal, and we didn't really, talk about it at all that I recall, other than one of my first memories is I'm rolling around in the dirt on my grandparents' farm and mooing at the cows, and the cows are mooing back, and I loved that. And from my understanding, my grandparents loved their cows and sent them off to slaughter somewhere else. And that's such a complicated thing, because there are farmers out there who genuinely seem to love their animals. And more of my background, my first degree is in human anthropology, social cultural. My second degree is in primate biology, behavior, and conservation. And I'm currently working on my third degree, and I'm in my final year in vet school. But the degrees, they don't really matter. I just want to kind of give you a background, because anyone can talk on this. We all have a human experience. We all eat, right? I just had a thought where not everyone eats. Some people have to be fed via a tube and other means. So that's the thing too about the statement that Billie Eilish made. It's black and white, right? And so little in the world is black and white. And I don't think I've said this yet, but if you have an eating disorder, or if you have a complicated relationship with food, this is not for you. Her statement, just disregard, because as long as you're doing what you need to do to survive, as long as if you're lucky enough to have doctors and nutritionists guiding you in this matter, you stick with that. You don't need the added guilt or, baggage that comes with this kind of conversation. You're doing great, and keep it up, because, I think I know more people with an eating disorder than without. And if you are unfamiliar with that, it's hell. Like every day, every hour, every time you think about food, snacking, any of that, like it's torture. So you really don't need the added, a celebrity said this, everyone's thinking that, and the added shame and guilt of not being able to love something. And it's like, really, we're gatekeeping love now. Love is super complex, and just anyways, I'm getting off track, I feel like. But yeah, so the degrees and whatever don't matter. I would identify myself, I guess, as a vegan at heart. For the last 17 years, I've been vegan off and on. And it's hard. I know I know a lot of vegans might not be happy with me saying that, but it's hard. Anyway, so I guess I'm an omnivore right now, and I've met a lot of carnivores, people who identify as carnivores, who also would identify as loving animals, people who are carnivores who do not identify as loving animals and who think they're just tools, I guess. I've also met people who, okay, I'm not paying attention, I'm sorry. We will make progress. But people who have identified as vegan, who are so vegan that they're against things like beekeeping, as well as keeping pets, even keeping like beetles and exotic small animals. And we all have different perspectives on this, but I will say I think this conversation is very, very important, because animals and animal byproducts make up so much of the world that we live in. And, you know, for instance, like flavor, natural flavor, right? Natural vanilla flavor is often coming from beaver anal scent glands. Isn't that fun? The things that, and it depends on where you are in the world, but the laws around what you can call natural and flavor are very interesting. What am I looking at? Engine bay. Oh, so that's dirty. Oh, it's like a fry setup. Oh, I see where it's dirty. Okay. Oh, please. If you've ever had low-fat ice cream from a very well-known and respected and hippie brand, Arctic fish blood. Arctic fish blood because the fish is low fat itself, you know, but it can survive freezing temperatures without forming crystals, which is what the company wanted and used it for in their ice cream. Oh gosh, the number of things that pigs are used for. Oh, I'm going to put a link in the description for, I think, the National Pork Board for the United States anyways, that covers all of the byproducts that their carcasses are used for, because oh my gosh, you start looking into this, natural melatonin, yeah, pig. Linoleum, sometimes, pig. Crayons, pig. Chalk, pig. Cement, pig. The roads are literally paved with pig. And you think about how many bodies there are, you know, in the world, animal bodies, non-human animal bodies, because we're animals too, right? And I think people like to forget that. But yeah, just so many products. And on one hand, it's like, okay, let's actually use this stool. It's like, that's good because you have the body being used. And that's important because I would love to live in a society where we have just no need for all these animal products. But since the state of the world being what it is right now, we use animal products for so many things. So many things. And if you're going to slaughter an animal, whoa, you might as well use all of the parts, because it would be super wasteful not to, right? Okay, I feel like we're kind of going all over the place. And it's so weird having a one-sided conversation on this. But, you know, I also like, it's been a long time since Sandy said anything. Oh, did you see any yellow? I didn't see any yellow there. Oh, I can also... What is this? Engine, okay. Grilled seats, they're grilled. Propeller, spatula, steering wheel, okay. But yeah, you know, and then you start to get really abstract and into like, well, what is love, you know? If you had, we've, as a species, written so much about love, and probably all of the words in all of our written works that we have about love could fill the empty heads of everyone who calls themselves a carnivore multiple times over. People who call themselves a carnivore, especially if they've never raised animals or slaughtered animals, are very unique individuals. And first of all, I mean, okay, again, these are my opinions. Seek medical advice from your doctor. Don't listen to me. I'm just a vet student, you know. But that can't be healthy. That just straight up cannot be healthy, being a full carnivore. And to be fair, being a full vegan is hard to do healthfully. And I think I saw the other day a full fruitivore passed away due to complications from her diet. So it's not like this is just like a haha willy-nilly, we're gonna do this thing and it's gonna be fine. Oh, let me talk about one of the reasons I failed at being a vegan for the first time. I was on like a 6-month streak and I did not plan it well. And that's a big thing. You have to have the time, you have to have the energy and resources to be able to healthfully do veganism well. And even as a vegetarian, like, you got to do it well. And because you don't want health probs later. There you are. Okay. You can't see the percentage. How unsatisfying for you. Hold on, let me see if that helps. Did that help? Yeah, there you go. Okay. What the crap was I saying? Oh yes, so planning. So I did not plan it well, and so that meant that I was probably nutrient deficient, and also I was just hungry. I was hungry for like 6 months, and there was one day when all I wanted was cornbread. And I got this mix, and I was so excited. All day I was looking forward to this cornbread. And I looked at the box when I got home after work, and butter. Dried butter was in it. And I gave up. I gave up. I wanted it. I was looking forward to it all day. I was so hungry. And so I ate it, and I broke my veganism streak of 6 months. Ooh, yes, let's watch the, yes. Yeah, we're the fish person. Look at how happy we are. Amazing. The invisible boatmobile. Oh, interesting. Interesting. What is that gonna entail? I don't remember that episode. Or maybe I do. Was Patrick driving? Loading dirt. Love it. Jellyfish fields. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Was that a jellyfish too? Yes. Can I catch them? Can I get a catcher? No? That's fine, I guess. That's fine. Anyways, I guess Sandy effed off. Hello? Why can't I rotate? Wait, no. Yes? Oh, is this not the right nozzle to be rotating? Yes, that is correct. Okay. Where the crap was it? Oh, God. Barnacle Boy! Sandy Cheeks was right! She gave chase to the dirty bubble, hightailing it away from the paddy wagon with a big filthy grin on his face. The dirty bubble? Oh no, did Sandy... Look at this, it's clear now. As if he could have had... No, as if he could have any other kind of grin. Oh, dirty bubble. Ah, yes. Okay. I keep getting rudely interrupted. I don't know. It wasn't important. None of this is important. This is just my opinion, you know? I don't know if I mentioned it, but I've also worked with wild animals and at sanctuaries and rescues around the world. And a lot of times those guys are vegan or vegetarian. And yeah, so I failed. Oh my gosh, Mermaid Man. Don't you worry, kiddo. We're gonna wipe that big dirty grin clean off that dirty bubble. That's not the voice of Mermaid Man, but that's fine. Just as soon as we've wiped down our shoes, the mud's deep here and I don't like it one bit. Yeah, Mermaid Man's a little older. They're both older, right? Because they used to be a younger duo and now they're older. I love that dynamic as characters. What the crap was I saying? Oh, I failed at veganism, yes. And so one day I told my boss this when I was working at a rescue for farm animals, and she got me vegan cornbread. Isn't that so sweet? Like, but yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, I think it can be doable if it's planned out and done right. And Mermaid Man, we've spotted him bobbing evilly north. Where am I? I don't have a compass. Am I north? Am I in danger, Mermaid Man? Are we in danger? Will we just be very dirty? Is it harboring disease and pestilence? Wait a minute. Do you realize that's north of here? Yeah, is that where I am? Is it coming for me? Is that going to be the final SpongeBob PowerWash boss? The dirty bubble? I don't. I have no sense of direction. Oh, Mermaid Man. I love this dynamic of the invisible boat too. But yeah, you know, at the same time, I know that vegans really and vegetarians really do not like what I'm about to say, but flavor is important. And if we lived in a world where there was artificial meat and there was no animal involvement, I'd be all about it. All about it. And that's not just for meat, that's for all animal products too. Would be about it. And you know what? If we're being real, I think a lot of people would be about it too. Just like, because we've learned so much about animal cognition and emotion. We're having that conversation now. We've been having it actually for a while. But yeah, it's really hitting the mainstream. Mermaid Man. Barnacle Boy says that due north is the Goo Lagoon. Oh, we're going to the Goo Lagoon. Yes, what else do you have, Mermaid? But I don't care who's do what. If the dirty bubble makes it that far, we can all kiss goodbye to at least 7 colors of the rainbow. How many colors are there in the rainbow? Roy, G, B, I, V. That's all the colors. Are there colors that I was not taught in school? Probably. Okay, we've been derailed so many times. I have no idea where I'm at, who I am anymore. Maybe I'll just shut up and power wash. Is that why you're here? Is that what you want? Is that what you want from me? Oh yeah, but I think because you can also now, you can be a vegan and not like animals. I do believe I have seen that, and it is unique, and yeah, you know. Barnacle Boy, all these jellyfish are really testing our supply of antihistamines. Is that what you do for jellyfish, antihistamines? I feel like that's incorrect medical advice, but I am not a human doctor. And Mermaid Man already has a rash from being inside the dirty bubble. Like, we have histamine in our skin that will release for all kinds of weird stuff. But I didn't know that jellyfish barbs were one of those. We're having to apply a real pharmaceutical matrix out here. That's funny. Oh, but yeah, flavor. Speaking of Matrix, you know, like in the Matrix, they have the gruel, right? That in reality is meant to sustain you, is everything your body needs, right? And then one of the resistance guys defects and chooses the pill that takes him back into the Matrix because he likes the flavor. And there was a really good TED talk about flavor and its relationship to emotion and culture, which is a whole other topic that we haven't even talked about yet. But yeah, food, we could, as a species, decide on a flavor cube or a flavorless cube. And that could be our one complete meal for the day, every day. And I wouldn't do it because I guess I do kind of have a complicated relationship with food too, because food to me is love, and that was problematic growing up and something I've had to kind of work around as an adult. Where are you? Oh, there you. What? Where am I looking at? What is this crevasse? But yeah, so flavor is really important, and I mentioned in one of my other videos, I forget which one, but food in my past anyways has lifted me up when I have been really down, and that food was not vegan. Yeah, you know, the food has been life-giving in more ways than one for me personally, and I think that is how it is for a lot of people. And I'll share with you too. This isn't a very popular channel, so it'll be fine. I have one subscriber. It's fine. I can say controversial things, and it won't go anywhere, right? The one time I was able to make any headway in changing a Trumper's mind was when I just listened to them as if they were a regular human being. That was it. And this person was surprised that I have no idea where I am in life right now. Am I under the ship? It's invisible. But yeah, this person was just surprised because all of their experiences with people who didn't agree with his position was to immediately attack, you know. And no two people are the same, and I think this is such a tricky topic. And you don't always have the energy, and I don't think you should always have the energy to just hear people out on what their opinions are, because certain things just don't need to be tolerated. But sometimes people have reasons that would surprise you as to why they believe in certain things, and I think sometimes they just feel unheard on all sides. And anyway, what is love? What is love when you think about it? Oh, yes. Is it the lack of harm? Do you think, for instance, Temple Grandin, who revolutionized slaughter for cows, humane slaughter for cows, doesn't love animals? There's a really good movie. Wow, I'm knocking it out. There's a really good movie that about Temple Grandin that I think is really neat. I think it's just called Temple Grandin, and it kind of goes over her experience and how she was able to empathize with the cows to a degree that allowed them to not have extreme stress, which was the standard in cow slaughter before she made the change. And she made the change as a woman in a predominantly male field at the time. Still is, I believe, even though the gender... Oh, I can just do this. Nope, can't see crap. Can't see the yellow. Do you see yellow? I do not. Oh, even though veterinarians are becoming, there are more women identifying individuals in, are we on the ship? Did I make it? I did. Okay. This is really hard, actually. I can't see where the dirt is. It's hidden. It's hidden by invisibility, which is not something you would think is a thing. Footwells and gear stick mount. Okay. Footwells. Oh, okay. But yeah, so more veterinarians are women now than men, at least in the schools and graduating. So the dynamic is shifting. But still, being a woman in doing any sort of research, any sort of anything with farm is still tricky because it's still very heavily male dominated. And that's the other thing. Like, you want to talk about places around the world where families rely on a goat, you know, like their whole livelihood hinges on this dairy goat, for instance, or even meat goats, or a whole cow in places, and just, gosh, and the number of animal products that they need in their day-to-day just to survive. And that's all we're trying to do, right, is survive at the end of the day. But then you can get into the Thanos argument, or Thanos conundrum, and just blah, God, it's all depressing. But yeah, and like, what about we're getting really dark and controversial, I guess, but what about cannibalism? We're animals. Can you love a human and eat them? Because in certain places in the world, it's called endocannibalism, and that is when you eat your friends, family, community members once they pass, as a way of honoring them and sending them off with their last rites. Oh, I saw it. Did you see it? Oh, it's right there, right there. Yes. Yeah, we did it. Let me see. Wow. Wow. I didn't see many jellyfish in the jellyfish fields, however. The Murmalayer? Bruh. Okay. I have a feeling that the Murmalayer was a bit grungy before the Dirty Bubble came along, but maybe that's just my personal bias. Wow. And yeah, I think Billy's probably getting a lot of crap for what she's, oh my god, SpongeBob. Oh, this doesn't look like the work of the Dirty Bubble to me. Interesting. What's your hypothesis, SpongeBob? What is your hypothesis? Looks more like years of persistent dirt and inefficient cleaning techniques. All right, that's really overnight. Has the dirt been invisible, like the invisible animal citizens that surround us in our day-to-day? Yeah, but I'm sure Billy's getting a lot of crap, and she's a celebrity, you know, so maybe she's used to it. And I can't imagine, like, I say all kinds of crap in these videos, and that's been something that I've learned even starting this channel and doing this. It looks so easy. It looks like you just have a conversation, right? Like, especially if you're not used to being in front of a camera or anything. Just, it's crazy because you could say all kinds of stuff in your day-to-day life to other people, just smoking and joking, right? But like, now there's a camera involved. You upload that to the internet and it's there forever, and then that's your opinion and blah. But I think her statement was intentionally not nuanced, because it reaches a broader audience, and then you have to think about, you know, these things and talk about them, and just like, oh, this person said this. And I think we do put a lot of emphasis on what celebrities say, but they have a lot of power, and the things that they say influence a lot of people, and I think it is important to keep that in mind. So if you're vegan curious or vegetarian curious, oh my gosh, that was a lot of stuff. Start small, you know, try to plan it out, and just know that, like, even being aware of the animal products that exist around you and that are in the stores and whatnot, like that's huge. When I was growing up, like in the 90s, that there were still vegetarians and vegans, and there have been in other countries as well for a long time. But these conversations, at least not in Texas and surrounding states, were not really the top of the agenda, we'll say. Versus now, when it's like all kinds of stuff is vegan. And if you've ever seen a product where it's like, oh, that's silly. That's so silly that they said it was vegan. Like, what? That was unnecessary. Was it? Because so many products now, oh crap, are involving animals that if you're surprised, then that means that animals were used. Like, even like calcium supplements. Where's the calcium coming from? Do you know? Do you actually want to trace it back? How deep down the rabbit hole of veganism do you want to go? And like I said, I'm a vegan at heart, if not always at practice. I've done little changes in my life and in my eating habits that allow me to not feel completely guilty all the time. And I think they're fairly sustainable. So you got to start out really small, and don't feel bad if it doesn't work out and you can't do it. So much of the way our society is built nowadays is around animals and animal products and meat and their bones and their sinew and all of this, and it's just their collagen, their fatty acids, just like it's overwhelming, and there's no way you go about your day-to-day life and don't encounter multiple animal products. There's just no way. It doesn't, negate anything that I think Billy said or people who are vegetarian or vegan say about, that doesn't mean that it's right. No, that sucks that that's the way it is. I hate that that's the way that it is. And I hope that we constantly have this conversation and we're trying to make things better. I remember watching, was it Okja? I think that's how you pronounce it. On Netflix not too long ago. I cried, and I didn't look too much into it, but it's just like this giant pig-like creature that befriends a little girl and then gets taken for meat and reproduction, which that scene was just god-awful. But, that's the reality for a lot of animals. The top 3 reasons that a dairy cow is put down. I was thinking maybe any cow, but I think it's a dairy cow. Anyways, top 3 reasons why you think a dairy cow has to be put down. I'll give you a second to think about that. Why would we need to kill a dairy cow? And dairy cows can give many years of service. They are in a state of constant pregnancy in order to produce milk. That whole industry contributes to the veal industry. Why do you think? So, top 3 reasons. This is helping me review as well, so thank you. Top 3 reasons for killing a dairy cow. Mastitis, so inflammation of the udder, which would impact profitability. Lameness, and infertility, with infertility being the largest. She has to be constantly pregnant, and so when she's lactating, when she's giving us her milk, and her calf is either kinda with her or has been taken away to be a replacement heifer or to be a part of the veal industry, she has to get pregnant during that time. And she is lower on her body condition score. So she is what they call milking off her back. So the fat that she has in her body is what she's got. She's not putting on weight when she's lactating during that critical transition. Now, there's a lot of science that goes into dairy cows and their whole setup and their hormones and their timings for artificial insemination and also natural service, as it's called, with a bull. I'm not going to pretend to remember all of that, but yeah, that's crazy. And it took me, 3 years of vet school before I learned half of this stuff. And I've been having a career with animals for a long time. And that just goes to show how detached we are from, I was about to say everything, but how things are made and what they're made of, and farming, and not just, hobby farms, but like intensive farming. So Oakjaw was, they took a lot of artistic creativity with that one, and I think they were comparing some of the final scenes with this creature to a concentration camp, which is intense. That is very intense. And I think, sometimes we love animals and we personify them, and we kind of view them as humans. They have sentience, they have sapience. We can measure certain things. We can't measure everything. They have emotions, depending on who or what species we're talking about. I'll say that comparison is a bit intense. Yet if you go to an abattoir, if you go to where animals are being slaughtered, it's just also very intense. And I think when you compare something like slaughter to like the Holocaust, God, we're getting really in there, aren't we? The cruelty with which the Holocaust happened, very little comparison. And I think, I'm not a philosopher. I'm a nobody. Don't listen to me. But I think by comparing certain things to the Holocaust in World War II, you kind of detract from that. I almost want to say experience. You almost detract from the history, the gravity of what happened there, and maybe that comparison is more to show the willful negligence, the willful, what is the word I'm thinking of? Willful ignorance of what is happening in the world, because the local Germans, once World War II was over, were made to go and view the concentration camps and the videos. They made the Nazis, the German soldiers, go and view videos of what they found, the people that they found, and the state that they found them in. Anyway, wow, I didn't think we would get there during this. And I could talk for a while about World War II stuff. I had the privilege of being stationed in Germany, and I got to visit Dachau, and I think it's really important that people go and see. And also in Auschwitz, great tour that they put on there. A lot of really good information. They've done a fantastic job of preserving things and making sure it exists in multiple languages. And just, yeah. Let's move on from this topic. Yeah. So another thing, we're just gonna bounce right around. I'm so sorry that we're here. But so cannibalism. That's a lighter topic, isn't it? So, there's a good book called 438 Days Later, I think it is. And so this guy, Jose Alvarez, I think it was his name, and his partner, not partner, but like business partner, like they went out to sea together in the same ship, Ezekiel. They went out to sea and then they got stranded. There was a storm, and all of their little safety mechanisms and ropes and such just got completely obliterated, and they were just out at sea. They set out, I think, from Mexico, and then anyways, the things Jose had to do to survive, oh my gosh. But his partner, his business partner, or sailing partner, I guess, passed during this time, and Jose describes talking to Ezekiel after he's passed, so talking to his body. Oh wait, hold on. Oh God, we need some comedy. Hold on, Jesus. What is this? Patrick Star, Bikini Bottom. This is not a driver's license. Okay. Right. But yeah, so his partner Ezekiel passes, he dies, and the body's still on this little craft that they have that's floating in the ocean, in the open ocean, and Jose describes talking to the body, and eventually the body slips into the ocean. Now, when Jose came back after 438 days of surviving, doing all he could to survive, which included killing turtles and drinking their blood, because it's very nutritious and he didn't have much to go off of, right? And I think he felt very guilty about it, but people questioned him when he came back that, like, did you eat this person when they died? Did you kill them? And I believe he even had to do a polygraph test, and by all accounts and behavioral experts and the polygraph and everything, and his own statement, like, no, he didn't eat Ezekiel. And so between endocannibalism and then not eating someone in a state of survival, which is love? Which has greater love? Is one more quantifiable than the other? Is one inherently wrong? These are my thoughts. These are where we go with my thoughts, and I'm sorry that they're dark sometimes. And is this dirt? Yes. But yeah, I just thought, mission accomplished for Billy. Everyone's talking about it, and some people might be really sick of all the things nowadays about, like, oat milk, right? And oh wait, this is a really good point. Okay, the type of milk. What type of milk is the most environmentally friendly? I probably will not give a good answer for this, but last I checked, last I did my little research on it, and it's not available in the UK from what I've seen anyways, and I'm not going to drop the brand name because I know that there are issues with that when you do that in a video, I guess. But yeah, so pea milk. PEA, okay? We're not Ethan Nestor. I love Ethan. This is no hate. But no. Peas, they don't take much water. Pea milk is actually very nutritious and rich in B vitamins and protein. I thought the flavor was great. It was a little bit sludgier than like it. Oh my god, what just happened? Okay, where it's like thicker, you know. But like once you get past that, if maybe you like it thick, I don't know. It's okay to like it thick, all right? But yeah, it's probably the best, and I wish it was more commercially available. I don't know as if it's taken off more in the States, but like I think like almond milk we know is not the best for the environment because of how much water it uses, and water is a precious commodity. Pea milk. PEA. Milk from beans, you know, and it was like kind of whitish yellow, but man, just great. Good for the body, good for the environment. What more could you want? You know, doesn't involve animals. Well, but we've just talked about pretty much everything involves animals. But, you know, we're trying, and that's all you can do at the end of the day. And that's really all anyone can do. We're all doing our best in our own ways. Unless you're not, in which case you're wrong and you should feel bad. Okay, wow. Is there a topic that's taboo that we haven't talked about? Religion. Oh gosh, we've been going for a long time. Okay, well, let's just tour this place first. Look at this. Look at these stalactites, because they're clinging tight to the ceiling, and stalagmites, because they're coming out mightily like a mountain. Huh? And then, what is this? Are Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy a little freaky? Is that what this is telling us? Oh, there you go. They're a little freaky. I mean, I don't know how long they've been in a relationship for, because you know they're in a relationship. And what is this? This is the Knights of the Round Shell table. Amazing. Amazing. What is this here? IJL. What is that? What is this? What is this? I'm not familiar with this lore. And what is that? Oh, it's them when they were younger. Wow, look at them. Yeah, we ship it. Yeah, for sure. Although I don't know how old Barnacle Boy was, so maybe we don't ship it. Anyways. Thank you so much for watching. I think I'm going to end it while I'm ahead, right there, while I'm incredibly behind and controversial. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope to see you in the next disaster that I make in PowerWash Simulator. Okay, bye!